Welcome back, people. We'll try and get through this as smooth as possible. We're going to talk about this weapon right here, and we're going to take it up into current day. I haven't heard anyone do that with this particular weapon. What are we talking about? Well, this weapon right here took 3 months to design, and it rolled out at 330 rounds per minute with a distinguishable sound that made it that was uniquely associated with this weapon on the battlefield. We are talking about the BAR, the Browning Automatic Rifle, named after John Moses Browning, who designed it near the end of World War I. So the official designation, as we see that pops up on our screen all the time, the BAR M1918 was the U.S. Army's effort to break the stalemate in trench warfare on the battlefields of France and Belgium. Remember Belgium, that's going to come up again. This is my attempt to get my grenade kills on a tank. That's not going to be effective. Alright, so the official U.S. military use began in 1918, and it carried all the way through until the Vietnam War. The BAR made a strong comeback in World War II as the 1918, wait for it, A2, I know, original. But the newer version did have a higher rate of fire of 550 rounds per minute. Now I'm going to take this into, I don't have my 2 plane kills with an LMG, by the way. I need to concentrate on that. Sidebar, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the BAR actually has sporting versions. Okay, so John Browning, his grandson Bruce Browning, along with a team of automatic firearms experts from the FN factory in Belgium, started designing something for the civilian market. Anyway, they had this. See, it's not running smooth. I'm losing my train of thought here. What was it? It was the project. The project's code name was Carbine 66. Okay, and that was 1966 was its production, and they wanted to launch it in 1967. But anyway, the BAR rifle, initially produced totally in Belgium, and then the assembly was transferred to Portugal, was the early 1970s. And today the Portugal factory still is a huge component of the Browning manufacturing team. They also make, besides rifles, they also make pistols and your shotguns. So the BAR, evolved slightly over the next 4 decades. Rifles before 1976 were called Type 1. Between 1976 and 1992, they are often called Type 2 rifles. But, they're quite similar to the Type 1, so, not much there. But in 1993 marked the introduction of the Mark II versions. And those are still in production today, along with the BAR Mark III versions. Now, I looked up the Mark III version on the Browning website. This comes in 243 Winchester, a 22-inch barrel, weighs in at 7 pounds 2 ounces, with a price tag of $1,240. It's you got to shop around for rifles. Browning makes a very good weapon, and I can vouch for that firsthand. I own one of their shotguns. But my hunting rifle's a Remington, and I can buy 3 of the Remingtons I have for the price of that Mark III. But I digress. So 2 variations of the BAR I want to bring up. In the early 70s, a BAR version was produced strictly for law enforcement. It was chambered in .308 Winchester, but that one never made it to production. I don't know what happened with all that, but that one never made it to production. And then they also had a pump action version in 1997, and this was called the BPR. I guess that stands for the Browning Pump Rifle. I'm sure Stang will have a field day with that one. But this version, the Browning pump rifle, the BPR, and no, the P does not stand for pump action, because pump action is 2 words, so they would have called that the BPAR. Instead, they just had the P, so you can't just say the Browning pump action rifle. That doesn't make any sense. If you compare that to the Browning automatic rifle, the BAR, automatic is 1 word. Pump action, 2 words. Anyway, you get where I'm going with that. So this version was to be used in states that were not enthusiastic about civilian ownership of automatic centerfires. And you know which states you are. So why did I bring up the civilian or sporting versions of the BAR? Well, if you have not been observant, this rifle or this weapon has automatic and semi-automatic fire modes. Now, I don't know how often any of you toggle between the two, but in close quarters, absolutely keep the BAR on automatic, absolutely. But when you start getting into those medium ranges, if you haven't tried it yet, switch to semi-auto and use it that way. This BAR is a decent semi-automatic rifle. It works quite well, easily taking out 3 opponents, if not more, depending on your accuracy and how they line up for you, and if they have 100% health when you engage them initially. But yeah, give that a try. Don't be lazy. Toggle between that automatic and semi-automatic depending on your distance. It'll work for you. Alright, what do I want to talk about next? Battlefield 1 assignments. Now, I don't yet have my 100 kills with elite classes, because this run here, as an example, is about as best I can do with an elite class. So I'm still not quite at 100. I believe as of last night when I was playing, this is old game footage, I was somewhere in the 90s, so I only have a few more to go. I did finish one of the pistols. The name I'm not even going to try and pronounce is the one that starts with an R. It's in the support class, and you need to get 20 kills with it to unlock one of the other LMGs. I did finish that one last night, so I need to start using that LMG. And the achievement I'm after is that 100 gamer score achievement. You need to use each of the Tsar DLC weapons, and I believe you only need 1 kill per weapon. I at least bare minimum take it to the Codex level, so that's 10 kills. But that's what I'm working on. I'm working on that 100 gamer score achievement. That's the one I want. And the weapon that's going to be the most difficult for me to unlock, it appears, is the LMG, where you have, what is it, Parabellum, where you have to take down 2 aircraft with a light machine gun. I haven't tried very hard to do that yet. You saw some footage of that in this video, but that's gonna take me a while. I have started grinding out the assignments that you have to play 25 games of supply drop, you have to win 10 rounds of domination, you have to play or win X amount of team deathmatch. I've started grinding those out. Conquest is still my favorite. The Operations campaign that came out on the new DLC, or the new update, sorry, the new update. I played a couple rounds of those, or no, not a couple. I only played 1 round of those, and the team I was with had 0 clue how to play Operations. We didn't even get past the first sector. It was ridiculous. But anyway, we can talk about that more later. I'm out of video, so thank you very much for listening, folks. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, people, to play hard. Life is just too damn short not to. You all take care, and I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye, everybody.